I genuinely believe that women have a distaste in the back of their minds for the archetype of woman herself. And the reason for this is because of their own sense of vanity. Whereas men, they're kind of just indifferent to the archetype of man until they have to be motivated or inspired to do something about it. Men don't really have to do anything about anything unless they need to. Whereas it's not the case with women. And we're just getting to the point in our society where men are feeling the need to be validated from these conservative women online who are posting thirst traps, and the men are falling straight into it. And granted, the way that things are being brought up by other women in the sphere about certain things, like let's take for example, there's a woman on X right now that is going around. There's a picture of her in a bikini going all around, and she's on the beach and whatever. And this is a conservative woman, and she's obviously not posing conservatively here. Now, she is on a beach. She's in the sun. She can do what she wants, right? She's a free woman. I think it's great. I think it's great that a woman is being her free self. But you can't say that she's a conservative woman. I don't think you can say that. And the reason being is because of the principle that it lays behind. The world that we live in now inspires really nothing. Inside the woman's eyes, modernly, like modern woman's eyes, are filled with this angelic-like presence, but in her heart, it's covered in stone. Her neck is rigid, and she's very stubborn in her ways. It's like the Bible talks about the strange woman and her words being dripping like a honeycomb, right? Everything's so sweet about her, and yet she leads you straight to hell. And you have all these simp men who are working 24/7 just to simp for some woman they've never met online. And then you also have men in reality, like in the physical world, where in their communities they are dating entitled, broken, and unappreciative women while working 24/7. And a lot of men think that it's the women's fault. I don't really blame this woman for posting the bikini pic. I don't blame her. She's doing what she can to do what she's going to do. I've been saying this for over a year now, that conservative women is going to be the new grift. Okay? Now, I'm not saying she's this or that. You can make your own decisions. But we can't look at that. I can tell you what it's not. It's not conservative. It's not really anything that is remotely conservative. And the fact that we have so many godly men worshiping this woman and even saying how, oh, well, men need to trust women's intuition more. Women are way more intuitive than men. No, they're not. This is a lie. Okay, this is a lie. Have you ever noticed the type of men that say this? Usually they are pale, they have hunchbacks, they have long noses. It's like Pinocchio. There's a reason why physiognomy is physiognomy, right? It's because it actually shows you what your character is like. These are people, and again, I'm generalizing, and people say, oh, it's not good to generalize. Okay, well then go somewhere else. You don't have to watch this. One of the great things about this channel is that if you don't resonate with it, you don't have to watch it. It's really cool. So, and if it does resonate with you, you get to stick around. You can stay around. You're welcome to chill and just talk about what's going on in the world and talk about what's going on in reality. Because the collective consciousness is headed for something that it doesn't even realize yet. Like, I made a video just yesterday, posted it this morning. Well, at the time I'm filming this, it's filming this video, it's the morning, but I don't really understand how people don't see the world has already collapsed. The world is gone. Everything that we once knew is gone. Have you ever thought about what your childhood was like? If you're above the age of 25, that means that, let's see, so if you're 20 right now, that means you were in high school, like at the very beginnings of high school when the pandemic happened, right? So you don't really know anything else other than what the reality's been as far as the last 5 to 10 years. You don't really know much else, right? You probably don't remember, or if you do remember, you don't really remember enough to really know the difference. And it's like everybody that's 20 years of age and up, they can remember what it was like before social media to some degree, right? It's even if it's just a little bit. I was born in 1996. And so I remember playing outside. I remember climbing trees. I remember doing fun things. I remember riding my bike, and I would be building like these snow forts, and then I would build these snow like ramps in the winter to where I would try to jump off. We'd like literally lay down like rocks of ice on top of snow, and then we'd jump off of it into this other snowpack, and it was really fun because that's really all we had. That's all we had to do. And nowadays, people are just online playing with themselves to bikini women, like women in bikinis, and like these are not just like these. This is where we've been to and where we are now. I don't know what else to tell you guys. Like this is just the intersexual dynamics part of the world. This isn't even talking about, the currency system that we have, the banking system. This isn't even talking about the world at large. This isn't even talking about the social dynamics, the colleges, our education system, the government. Like this is just one aspect. And it's completely cooked. Another day, another simp worshiping some woman that he's never met on the internet. Another day, another woman who is grifting as a conservative when she's clearly not. Now look, of course, like it's better than seeing a tranny, that's for sure. It's better than seeing the letter people, but it still doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it right. And when I look at stuff like this online and I see like the things that people are saying about this, it gives me this sick feeling in my soul. And the women that I do know that are godly, they wouldn't do this. They wouldn't do that. And they do have the type of body, some of them that I know, they do have the type of body that I'm sure, now I'm not like imagining, like, look, leave some room for the imagination. That's good. But I'm not sitting there like wondering what she looks like naked. Oh. It's not what I'm doing. Because I know that this is a godly woman. And even though I would find, like, if there was a single godly woman that I found attractive, I'm not picturing her naked all the time. Okay, that's not, some of these guys think that that's normal to do. It's not normal, bro. It's really not. It's just because we live in a perverse situation and a perverse society. It's not to say that, like, you can't feel lust towards them. Okay, it's not to say that you don't feel temptation. It's just that you're not always thinking about it. Okay? it's not always going to be there. It's just not always going to be the case. It's not always going to be something that's on the mind. It's just something that's it'll be on the mind, of course. Like, there's nothing wrong with expressing sexual interest in a woman, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But to believe that you are like you're normal to always think about sex, I don't think that that's normal at all. Again, there's nothing wrong with having a high libido or anything, because if you're like, in fact, if you're horny, like being horny is healthy, okay? But thinking about sex all the time, I don't think that's healthy, okay? I don't think that's healthy at all. That leads down a perverse path. And especially if you're not in a long-term relationship, be mindful of your thoughts. Okay, be mindful of that, because it's going to lead you toward a path that is going to be hard to get out of. And believe me, it's better to stay out of hell than to get out of hell. Okay, I've got the vouchers, man. I've got vouchers to show you. It's not a pretty sight. It's not a fun thing to do. And I really believe that it's men's responsibility to get out of this mess that we're in. A lot of people will say it's the women's fault. Even women online are saying that it's the women's fault. Like, women are the worst thing about this generation. Women are saying that. That's not me saying that. I don't believe that. I think it's the lack of male leadership, and it's the lack of, and a lot of men will get upset with me about this. It's these are the bitter men that they have not yet come into the maturity of their own soul. They have not come into the maturity of their own spirit, and they don't want to take accountability for their lives. And some of them are very successful. I've met very successful men in the past, in the recent past, who are fairly well off, and yet they blame women for all their problems. And I'm thinking to myself, how do these men know how to make so much money? They know how money works, but they don't know how women work. It's kind of like Jeff Bezos, you know, like Jeff Bezos. I don't think Jeff Bezos is bitter toward women, but like, look at his taste in women. Plastic, fake. Like, that is a plastic. That's pretty much a Barbie doll, like an old Barbie doll. Ugh. No offense, but it is what it is. And I wouldn't want to be with that kind of person. I want to be with a real human being, a real woman. It shouldn't be this much to ask for women to have some modesty, to not post thirst traps online, because it's like, that's what it is, right? Another day, another thirst trap. Another day, another woman posting thirst traps and getting upset at men who aren't falling for it. And then getting upset at women who are calling it out. Guys, what are we doing, man? Like this, I think it's good to address it, but the solution is ultimately leading your own life as a man and staying in your frame. Now, what exactly does that mean? What does that look like? Well, it means that you're going to be doing what you want to do on your time, insofar as it is in accordance to God's law, statutes, and commandments. Okay, so that means that if you have a job right now, you have a job. Okay, it's your job to show up to your job and to do your job well. Now, that is just simply a fact. It's just a part of life. There's nothing wrong with just having a job. There's nothing wrong with building yourself up and trying to get your health on point. Okay, health is wealth. It is a form of wealth, absolutely. And if you can maintain your health, if you can maintain your hobbies or activities or your business or your finances, if you can focus on this kind of stuff and stop worrying about what women are doing, because if you just start to lead your own life, and because I know a lot of you men out there that watch my channel are concerned about the state of womanhood right now, and I get it, okay? In fact, most often than not, I just assume women are lying to me anymore. I don't like assuming that, but that is just, it's been my experience that they're lying 99% of the time. And whenever I take them seriously, things don't pan out ever. But as soon as I stop taking them seriously, well, all of a sudden, they all want me. And so now I just have to filter out and vet, okay, which ones are actually for real and which ones are not. And it's much easier when you have something that the woman wants. Okay, a lot of men want to go to women because they believe that women have something that they want. When in reality, women are supposed to, like, think about our seed, man. Okay, why do you think I do so many semen retention Sunday videos and episodes on this channel? It's because it's not about like the practice in general or getting to 7 days or 12 days or whatever, how many days. It's about honoring you. It's about respecting yourself. It's about disciplining yourself and disciplining your spirit, denying your flesh so that you can become stronger in your spirit. And then you can give glory to God. It's really not that difficult. Like, a lot of people psych themselves out into thinking that it's way more difficult than it actually is. And you just have to go along with things and just whatever's on the other side, so be it. That's something that I'm learning recently, is that I'm just going to accept absolutely whatever happens. I'm not even trying to control the outcome at all anymore. I'm controlling what I can control. But I'm not even, if it's not in my control, it's not even in my vision or it's not even taking rental space in my mind at all. If it's not something that I can immediately control or control long term, it's not in my head at all. In fact, there are times in my meditation, for example, because I meditate every day, and in my meditation, I'm just existing and I'm just being at peace with existence. And I feel for so many of these men that are worshiping these women online, they don't have peace inside themselves. So they're trying to, even though they're trying to give women peace, that's a form of vanity because they're not actually accepting themselves as men. And if anybody's read Nietzsche's Ecce Homo, I don't really, where is it at? I don't remember where it is in the book, but I remember there's something about a story, like it's like a parable. And this is one of the few things I think Nietzsche got really right. Because even though Nietzsche is he's a 1 in a billion type of a person, I don't think he got everything right, of course. And I'm not saying I have everything right, but I think I'm more on the righteous path, I would say, if I were to, because I'm concerned with my own salvation. But point is that there's a story in Nietzsche's Ecce Homo where he talks about how there's this sage and all the men go to him and they're asking him about, like, the men are asking the sage, like, well, what do we do? The women aren't listening to us. The women aren't this. And the sage says, oh, well, it's your fault, man. And the men are like, what are you talking about? It's our fault? It's my fault that these women aren't listening to us? And the sage is like, well, yeah, of course. No. And then the sage is like, look, if you can't accept accountability, what makes you think you're going to be able to hold somebody else accountable? If you can't be accountable yourself, because it is your responsibility as a man, it is your responsibility to shape women. Like, women become the vessel of what you allow. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a wrong thing, okay? It's actually something that is very beautiful and it's sacred if you have the eyes to see and ears to hear. So I hope that all of the men out there that need to hear this message will hear it, or anybody that just feels as though, this is speaking to them. Please let me know in the comments what part of it is speaking to you. Join the Regal Change Academy if you want to be around like-minded individuals, godlike savages for men, and warm, inviting, feminine, empathetic women, because we don't just let anybody in there, okay? There's a process, and We want to make sure you're right for the group and the group is right for you. And we're just kind of at a point where the people that are engaging the most in these kinds of communities, they're going to be the ones that get the most benefit. And it's just the case. That's just the way that it is. And if it's not something that you're engaging with, it's on you, really, because everybody else that's engaging, they're getting a lot out of it. They're growing in ways that you're not even seeing because you're not participating. And do you want to be a part of that collective conscious that is moving toward aligned goals or not? I mean, that's up to you. But, you know, if you also just want to do a one-on-one session with me as well, I know some people just prefer the one-on-ones to the group, but, you know, to each their own. Or if you just enjoy the content, you know, give it a like, comment. That's going to be the best way to support at this time. So I hope that you stay blessed out there. Peace be with you. Until next time.